Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PaperRenee.com. Today we're going to be making these little treat bottles that I'm going to fill up with candy and give away as Christmas presents. What I'm using for the jar are these Starbucks Frappuccino coffee drink jars. My daughter drinks these, and so I had her start saving them for me, and I would just run them through the dishwasher to get them cleaned out really well and then let them dry really good, and there you have it. It's a free canister. I tried taking the plastic things off that say Starbucks, and it just does come off, and it's really sticky, and I imagine if you use Goo Gone you could probably get that sticky off, but it's alright. I don't care that I'm going to cover it up anyway. But the one part that I cannot cover up, and I don't know if you can see it or not, right here is like the expiration date, and it's just printed on the jar. So I took some Stays-On all-purpose cleaner, just put a little bit on there and just let it set for kind of a second, and you'll be able to wipe that right off. See, disappeared. Okay, I went ahead and pre-cut my paper strips that I'm going to need for this. And I'm using this Basic Grey Figgy Pudding collection. This is Nestled, and this one is Toyland. But I cut these at 8 3/4 inches long, and this one is by 2 3/4 inches wide, and this is 8 3/4 by 1 inch. And I'm going to use my Martha Stewart punch, and I'm going to punch out the screen sheet. Okay, I've got it all punched out here, and I'm going to put it at the top of my paper. So I'm going to use my ATG gun and run a line of glue just on this green part. I'm trying to get as close to the bottom edge as possible because a little bit of the top is going to show. Alright, there we go. And it's going to fit on the jar this way. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line of glue on each side, as close to the top as I can get. This side as well. I'm going to put a line along the bottom. And then, just for extra measure, I'm going to put one just down the center vertically that way, and then you can just put it on your bottle. Fold this down really good, and then this side really well too. Okay, so there is that. Now for the lid, I want to cover up this lid here. And so I punched out from this, also from some more of that paper, a 1.5 inch circle. It's exactly the right size to fit in the middle. Now you can use your Cricut machine if you have one to do that. You can use a circle punch to do that, or old school, just lay your paper there and trace around it and then cut it out. Alright, now we're going to work on the little tag. I used the Winter Woodland Cricut cartridge for this. This is a really great cartridge. It has a beautiful font that I use a lot. I use it all year round, but it has a lot of snow and wintry looking scenes to it. And on page 45 there is a church building, and I'm going to make this. I cut this out using the card feature. And I cut it out at 2 1/4 inches, which is fairly small. There's also a tag feature, which I thought about using because I like the shape of the tag, but I really like the way the church looks better in the card feature. And when you cut that out, it looks like this. And of course, if you were making this as a card, you would cut it a lot bigger, and this would be the front of your card, and this would be, you know, the back. And I don't know if you can see it or not. You probably can't on this paper, but there are 2 little notches here, which is where you would score and fold it to make a card. I'm not going to fold it over and make a card. I'm going to cut this off. Now this paper is also from that figgy pudding pack, and it has a pattern paper on the back side, which I also really like. And so I'm going to just flip it over. So this is it, and flip it over and put it on the back. And so I'm going to take some Tombow Mono Multi Glue and just glue this on. Just line it up. And then it's not exactly even, so I'm just going to take my scissors and just trim it off. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to stamp the word joy on this. I'm going to stamp it and then I'm going to emboss it. And I'm using the word joy. This is from the Paper Tray Inks Mega Mixed Messages stamp set that I used the other day. I use it a lot. Before I stamp, since I'm going to emboss it, I'm going to wipe it off with a dryer sheet. This will help get all the excess stuff off of it. Like sometimes when you emboss, you have embossing powder where you don't really want it to go, and that will help prevent that. To emboss, again, I'm going to use Versamark ink. I'm going to put the joy right here. Get a little closer so I can maybe see it. And stamp it really good. And I'm going to get some embossing powder. I like to keep my embossing powder in these little Tupperware trays with a spoon already in it, just to make life easier for cleaning up. I don't have to put it somewhere and then try to clean it up. Okay, make sure you get it on there good. Flick off the excess. Okay. And use the heat gun to set it. Okay, there is joy. Okay, now I'm getting ready to put the bow together. And I'm going to need a piece of ribbon, which is 14 inches long, and a piece of silver twine or string that is 12 inches long. I'm going to, instead of tying the ribbon all the way around and then making the bow, sometimes that looks kind of bulky, I'm going to just make the ribbon, make a bow out of the ribbon and then tie the bow on. So the best way to do that is to put your ribbon like this and then pull it together like this where it looks pretty even. So you have like a crisscross like this. And then I'm going to take my twine and just tie it off. When you pull it tight, it makes it into a bow shape. And pull it really as tight as you can without breaking the thread, and then double knot it. Okay, the next thing you're going to need to do is trim off the ends of your bow. You can either cut them at an angle or do like I did and make them look a little fancier. You'll need to take your gift tag and punch a hole in the top left-hand corner and attach it to the bow using another piece of your silver cording. Okay, there's our tag attached. I trimmed off the ends. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the bow on the bottle itself. And we're going to tie it down using the silver thread here. So put your bow in the front like this. And sometimes it's just easier just to flip it over. And we will tie it in the back. Okay, there's our treat bottle. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Thanks.